everyone, this is Ravnia's blog, and welcome to my comic book discussion series. Today's discussion is on overpowered characters, or characters who have so much power that they can easily overtake any enemy they come face to face with. Now, there are many overpowered characters in comics, the most famous example being Superman. But does being overpowered mean that there will be less interesting stories with these characters because we already know how the fights will turn out? It's true that with overpowered characters like Superman, you will be able to see such amazing feats from these characters, especially when they start fighting and defeating the villains in the stories. However, there is a chance that the stories could become too predictable because since we already know that the character is already strong, they can easily beat the villains in every story. In other circumstances, when dealing with putting overpowered characters in a team, whenever overpowered characters are placed in teams, they sometimes overshadow the other characters in the team with their powers, or we the fans will be thinking about why would they even be in the team in the first place when they are powerful enough to handle any enemy. That's not to say that every story that has an overpowered character is automatically bad, because there are many stories with overpowered characters that are very well done. It all depends on how the writer is able to take the overpowered character and craft an interesting story around that character. Having a storyline where the overpowered character defeats a foe then goes home is not an interesting way to craft the character. Just like any other character, there should be some degree of complexity in establishing a story arc for an overpowered character, and there are a dozen different ways of doing this. So the question would be, what kind of stories could be written that writers could tell that would help make the overpowered character more interesting without them being so predictable, overshadowing other characters? There are many different ways in creating interesting stories about the overpowered characters, and the list can go on and on about what to do about the overpowered characters. One of the ideas that I think would make the story arcs of the overpowered characters more interesting would be to have a story arc with the character who has great power, but they don't know how to control the power. One of my favorite story arcs in comics that involves a very powerful character was the Dark Phoenix saga of the X-Men comics, and it showcased the idea about an overpowered character in the story arc very well, as Jean Grey was a very powerful mutant, but she didn't know how to control the dark powers of the Phoenix, which ended up destroying plans and caused her to fight her friends. This storyline was interesting to me because here we have a powerful being that was not capable of controlling their powers rather than having a powerful being that is in control of their powers, and it provided a compelling story arc about how the powerful character had to emotionally deal with having such destructive powers while fighting to regain her humanity at the same time. When dealing with overpowered characters in a team setting, it would be interesting to see the powerful characters be able to perform certain moves with other characters on their teams, such as X-Men members Colossus and Wolverine perform a special move called the Fastball Special, where Colossus throws Wolverine at any obstacle. It would not only help the powerful character be able to do something creative with another team member on the team, but it would allow readers to see more of the other characters in the spotlight without worrying about whether or not the other characters would get attention, or if the powerful character would really need to be a part of the team. Sometimes it's hard writing overpowered characters in comics because you want a story about the character that is not too predictable, but would interest the fans. Yeah, you want to see the scenes of the powerful characters defeating any foe they meet up with, and how they defeat their foes, but you also want stories where they could be shocking moments that the powerful character might not have seen before, or how that character tries to use their powers in a way they have never used them before. So, what do you think should be done about overpowered characters? Since there are so many different ways that an overpowered character can be made interesting, feel free to suggest some ideas that you think could make overpowered characters more interesting. Also, if you want to suggest some other topic discussions regarding comics to me, then feel free to comment in the comment box below, and I'll see what I can do about it. And feel free to follow me on my Twitter account so I can keep you updated on new videos I am doing. This is Ravia's Vlog, and I'll see you later.